welcome to the Skate Tank MMA. Yo, Tank.
Oh, mate. I'm fucking proper knackered, lad. I'm pissed drunk right now, innit? It's 5 a.m. watching that bald bloke's fight card, all those limeys in the cage who've fallen asleep. And Neil Diamond ain't even performing yet. This event's tight. This event's fucking dog shite. What say you, man?
What? I can't hear you. Something happened to your voice.
I haven't even been to the dentist in 8 fucking years, man. I'm at this fucking bald bloke, this fucking oiled up Dana show. And, I was on the podcast with him shitting on Ariel one of those days and didn't even attend the show, lad. I'm here to see Paddy the Body. I was his friend in elementary school, lad. But he didn't get me fucking dental care, mate.
Yeah, I guess not. Your teeth look pretty fucked up there.
Yeah, and hey, Sean, you're my bloke. You fucking cunt down there. Hey, groovy baby, yeah. I'm gonna fucking give you some mojo right up your ass. Let me tell you, mate. Anyway, man, what a mad lad. What a mad card in it. This shit's a bomb. Scousers, they don't get knocked out. Dude, Paddy's fighting next, and he's gonna have "This is how legends are made" as his fucking entrance theme, lad. And I can't wait for it, man. Maybe he'll get me some dental care, some fucking teeth, man.
God damn it.
Oh man, dude, I can't wait for this, mate. Dude, I haven't had any sleep in fucking 4 days, man.
Are you gonna do this the whole show?
Fuck no. Thank God. I was gonna continue the joke going into my locks if you want me to grab my shit again.
You just threw all that shit. Oh.
Yeah, I could keep doing
that was a great, fantastic bit.
Yeah, but
yeah, it's UFC 304 fight week, guys. I mean, what else is there to say? We're getting festive. We're in the spirit. Good thing we live in America, and it won't be 5 a.m. when the main event starts. But
the Fire Nation attacks.
Like I said, this is the Skate Tank MMA podcast. My friend Hank the Tank to my right.
Compadre to my left, the Idaho Skatesman.
That way.
There's something over there, you guys.
So yeah, let's get right into this, man. I mean, what's your overall thoughts on this weekend?
My thoughts are that I'm going to enjoy it, and anyone who is watching this at the time that it's happening in the UK will not be enjoying it unless they got a bunch of sleep beforehand. Dude, I'm going to assume that these guys who are attending live are like doing the fucking Star Wars Episode 1 outside the theater treatment where they're like dozing off right before the fucking show starts. So I don't blame them. You need to have a ruckus crowd while this thing's, going on. So, man, it's just a shame that you'd assume the UFC would want a ruckus UK crowd to put over their talents. But honestly, with the amount of abuse they've been giving these fucking UK fans, they're going to be more like a fucking Rio de Janeiro crowd than anything else. They're going to be fucking pissed off. I mean, they're dying.
I think they got Stockholm Syndrome. They'll be hyped up. I'm certainly hyped up. This is the most hyped up I've been for a UFC card.
Nice. Well, it's a great card. It's one of the most stacked cards we've seen on paper since UFC 300.
Well, I was gonna say since like 301-ish territory.
Yeah, for sure. Except it's got matchups that actually have way higher stakes and better name value as well. So
yeah,
it looks better on paper.
And then obviously, like just the weekend in general. We had Karate Combat last night, which was all right.
The Fight Companion was great, though. The post show was great.
That was good shit. Cage Warriors, a lot of finishes, but Super Rizin. I'm looking forward to Super Rizin. Also, there's a K1 Grand Prix, which will be fucking sick. Love me some kickboxing. But yeah, obviously our friend Hank the Tank, he's got some regional MMA locks for you guys. So
Sean is sending me his Tapology page on his website right as we're freaking streaming. Sean, you could do it in the Discord, man. This is like the worst possible timing. But yeah, for this one, I had Teddy Stringer in Cage Warriors by round 1 submission, and I got it absolutely perfect because Mycon, I saw that he had really uneven grappling and he was getting taken down by bums, and I saw that Stringer was getting a string of first round subs. So I just thought he'd continue that fucking party the body hype train, lad. Look at him. He's a fair, pale-faced ginger lad. He's gonna get it done, And that's exactly what Teddy Stringer did. And the crowd went crazy, even with it on the prelims. They made a lot of noise. So he's going to be a future name in Cage Warriors, I think, as well as a lot of other talents in that promotion. So, yeah, definitely check him out. And let me move on to what I got for the boxing card, because we got Joyce versus Chisora next. That's a fun main bout, but
yeah, two guys on their way out, sort of older heavyweights. Chisora definitely way more miles and knockout losses and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's going to be a banger. I don't think Chisora has ever thrown a straight punch in his career. So yeah,
neither has Georgi Velikov. Hiya, Georgie. Nice boat. Do you want the boat back? That's what Adam Hamed is going to be saying. Hamed's pretty good. He's in the Hamed family. Old Nassim, man. Not direct.
Yeah, this is actually Nassim Hamed's son.
Oh, wow. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that. So
yeah,
now
literally Prince Nassim's son.
So now I'm definitely sure that he's going to win.
Yeah, 100%.
He's been dominating his last couple fights, going to decisions, but he's been looking good in every single one of them. And Georgie is someone that they just feed to prospects to get them over. He's lost like 7 fights in a row, all by decision. I don't think that's going to change here, and Hamed's going to get it done, and he's going to look in better shape than his dad is right now. I can tell you that much. He looks
Georgie. I want you to fight Nassim Hamed's son, you jobber.
Yeah, pal. I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. You do what I say in the limo. Yeah, pal. That exploded, but only God could kill.
I want to go through the whole Super Rizin card, so I think we can wait on that one.
Okay, well, I got a lock for that one. So yeah, those are my locks. I got the Teddy Stringer pick perfect. Pretty sure I'm going to get the Hamed pick perfect as well. But yeah, I'm pretty much almost undefeated when it comes to picking locks. I got a good eye for it. So never letting you guys down, the troopers and grinders. This is my specialty. Come with the king, you best not miss. Anyway. So yeah, that's what we got for locks. But what do you think of the bigger shows that are going on? What do you think of Rizin UFC? Are you what, like you talked about how you're the most hyped you've ever been for the UFC card in a while, but how hyped are you for MMA in general this weekend compared to other times?
I mean, yeah, no, it's going to be a good weekend, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Pretty damn hyped. No complaints, really. I mean, there is some fights on the UFC card that you're kind of like, wait, but especially like the first couple. But other than that, like I said, the UK crowd's always going to bring the energy. K1's going to be sick, and it's tradition. Staying up all night for Rizin and just getting it done. But yeah, the Manny Pacquiao fight's weird.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
I agree. Sean, he wants to present his Tapology page because me and Sean have been in a little bit of a competition as of late. Me and the Leprechaun. We've been going back and forth in the picks. So if you're interested in showing Sean's picks, maybe after the fact, after we're done with.
Yeah, definitely not. We can do it on the post show, but
okay, sounds good. Let's do that. Old Joyce pulls it off. What do you think of that assessment?
Probably.
Yeah. I think so too.
The problem is he's just so slow and plotty. Just sort of a journeyman, but yeah, I probably favor Joyce, but he is also the favorite. So
I mean, Big Bang Zhang is some tough competition for anybody, including 100%. Joseph Parker. God damn it, fucking Joseph Parker. Anyway,
let's get right into it. So first fight is Shauna Bannon versus Elise Ardelean. Did you see Elise Ardelean weigh in?
I did not. What happened?
Apparently she had a tough weigh-in. I guess that this is like a really short notice fight.
It is.
I think both of these people were influencers, which is weird to say. Shauna Bannon's very terrible at fighting. She has a loss to Bruno Brazil. Got some regional wins. I mean, just at a glance in this strawweight division, Shauna Bannon is a significant favorite. I don't want to pick her, but I'm going to have to by decision just because I Ardelean, just the short notice nature and the really terrible looking weigh-in. Oh, Paradox has Chisora winning 100%.
Wow. He's gonna make some money.
Down in his last, like downs in his last fight.
Yeah,
it's only slightly downs. Well, don't go to City Life Project talking about that kind of stuff. So,
I mean, what the heck, Paradox? He's totally not downs. He's OCD just like me, the greatest MMA YouTuber of all time.
But yeah, let's move on to what I think of this fight. I've got Bannon by decision, same as you. Cannot confirm or deny if Alice Ardelean is the girlfriend of Arnold Almighty Allen or not. They've both got A alliteration in their names and are suspiciously on the same card on Saturday. Case is pending until further notice. What I do know about Alice Ardelean is that she's been getting fed cans her last 5 fights, while Shauna Bannon was fighting in Invicta before her UFC debut and has fought at the highest level already going into this contest. Now, I know she's from Ireland, so she might not be the most dependable women's fighter in the world, but she has experience compared to a short notice fighter who hasn't fought in a year. Bannon's striking ain't bad, and I don't think Alice's striking or grappling on the regional scene will translate very well to the UFC style of fight. It rarely does, especially when it hasn't been really tested since she fought Zhang Wei Li and Diana Belbita a million years ago, not even close to UFC time. Give me Mama B by decision. Seems pretty clear to me.
And Paradox says I act very differently in the City Life chat. This is my happy place. Well, dude, I'm glad to hear that you got a happy place here, and we try to keep it pretty open here and talk whatever you want. But yeah, there's actually some people with the tism and the downs over there. So
yeah, including
by the way, Cool Breeze, my good friend, my boxing aficionado. Give us your official pick for Chisora and Joyce.
Yeah, let us know what you think. What do you think?
Chatting it up in there. Yeah.
This is going to be a bad fight either way.
Mick Parkin at heavyweight versus Łukasz Brzeski. The Bull.
Big fist.
Mick Parkin, undefeated in his MMA career. He's got 3 straight wins in the UFC. Got in with a Contender Series win. Łukasz Brzeski, on the other hand, is coming off of a win to Walter Walker. He probably the only man ever to get knocked out by Waldo Cortez Acosta. Lost a decision to Carl Williams when he got ragdolled by a kickboxer. And a split decision to Martin Boudet, who is not in the UFC. And what is this, a DQ? I don't know what the fuck's up with that. But anyway, look, guys. Łukasz Brzeski is a terrible fighter who I did pick against in his last fight because he is so terrible. But it turns out Walter Walker
is somehow even worse.
Yeah, somehow even worse. Mick Parkin, I've picked against him in previous fights. This is definitely not one I even have an inkling of picking against him in this one.
Yeah, I agree.
And he beat the GOAT, Jamal Pogues.
Wow.
So, dude, I mean, he's got all decision wins. He's like a baby for heavyweight, too. 28 years old.
He dominated Usman, too. Dominated.
I don't know. I'm not super confident that there's going to be a finish in this fight, but I do think that there will be quite a few knockouts and finishes on this card. I think so too. Yeah, I do think there will, and that's like kind of a trend for the UK cards. They always seem to end in quite a few finishes. But yeah, man, I want to go Mick Parkin knockout.
Nice.
I'm gonna do the safe route, the Skatesman special. Go round 3. What about you?
Well, first of all, I want to mention that a Cool Breeze has their take. Chisora can take a punch. Joyce cannot take a punch. Chisora by lucky KO. Oh, wow. Looks like we're actually outnumbered here in terms of who's picking Joyce. But I'm still going with Joyce, in my opinion. But here, I've got Mick Parkin by decision. I've got him going all 3 rounds. Mick Parkin looked great on the feet against Mo Usman. Then again, who hasn't? But still, he looked like he's improved compared to the Mick Parkin who fought Kyle Machado. And even then, he was able to beat him decisively. But this fight against Łukasz Brzeski, who has looked absolutely rotten in his last 5 fights, including his alleged win over Walter Walker. If Johnny's somehow even more pea-brained brother had actually landed some shots while on top against Brzeski.
Give me 1 second.
dun. Hey, Hispix! Skate Tank MMA! La Candela! Copido! La Candela! Hey! Musical MMA! I respect you, my brother. I respect you. I'm from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. I am the coach of Alex Pereira. I prank him every now and again, and when he's doing the makeup, I do a little bit. Ain't that funny? Me, Glover Teixeira. I love Alex Pereira, man. I respect him. I respect you, my brother. Oi, oi, oi. What you doing, you gymnast? Oh, God. I need to show musical this.
And then he walks away. Yeah, what's up, musical? Good to see you in here, man. Appreciate it. Western Mass.
Oi,
long
musical. How's it going, mate? I'm your fellow fucking man from Liverpool. Oh, Patty the Pimlet's favorite friend from high school. We went together, mate. You wouldn't get me dental care. Even after his first win, mate. That's fucking bullshit. I'm still there for my boy, Paddy the Body. Best Liverpool representative since the Beatles, mate. Fuck that shit.
The tism on the screen is unfathomable. Ollie, heel, hurricane to fakie. That'd be sick if it was done. And by the way, what's up, Juiceman? Good to see you.
All right.
We're in the Bronson skate coat hat for you.
So anyway, as I was saying, if Johnny Walker's somehow even more pea-brained brother had actually landed some shots while on top against Brzeski, he would have won that fight easily. Mick Parkin won't be having those problems. He's been training at Tom Aspinall's gym, so his already excellent grappling skills should be even better going into this fight. And with his increased striking capability, he should be able to beat up Brzeski on top and even clean his clock on the feet. Though his build isn't the greatest, Parkin still has a lot of potential at heavyweight and has shown it so far. And in the right hands, might become a threat in his division like that of a Renato Moicano or a Bryce Mitchell. Solid striking and good enough wrestling to get the job done. I think Mick shifts Łukasz into Park and takes the bull Brzeski by the horns and fucking dominates him on the ground for the unanimous decision victory, maybe waking up the UK crowd a little bit with his win. So yeah, give me Parkin by dominant decision.
All right, our next fight is Sam Patterson at welterweight versus Kiefer Crosbie.
I didn't have you in mind, musical, but thank you.
Sam Patterson is 11-2. Lost the fight to Yanal Ashmuz by knockout, but then he got that submission over Johan Lainus. Mr. Kiefer Crosbie lost by rear naked choke to Kevin Jousset. Alex Oliveira, Cowboy Oliveira, got knocked out by him. Oh yeah, that's right. He was a Bellator fighter, getting subbed and knocked out in Bellator in his last two fights. I mean,
not a good look.
Yeah, 34 against a 28-year-old from England. I think this is a layup for old Sam Patterson here. The question is the method. We did see Sam Patterson get a submission in his Contender Series fight, and then a submission against Johan Lainus. I think that's probably the route to go. He does have some knockouts on his record. I think he could get it done by sub again. Possible KO, but yeah, give me the safe Skatesman special round 3.
I love the little pet name that Sean gave Sam Patterson. Look at that fucking thing.
Giraffe neck.
It's the size
of Parkin in the parlay. Yes. I'm terrible at betting. That's why I quit. But I lost my car key today. Can I get one without going to the dealership? Yes, you can, depending on what kind of car you have. Hank, I accept. Let's debate. The Kool-Aid Man says.
Next week, here we go.
I got sacked in Wilshire 14 years ago. I still feel it. So I watched the UFC. Fuck, dude. Getting sacked on a rail is never fun. And that's why I don't skate rails. I skate bowls. So
it's got to have that feeling again, man.
What say you, my good friend?
I got Sam Patterson by first round submission. Did you have him in round 1?
Third.
Okay, that's the Skatesman special, right? I got him in the first round. First, I have to list Patterson's weaknesses. People have cited one, that despite calling himself the future, he looks like a 40-year-old man in his Tapology pick. Second of all, he got easily knocked out by Yanal Ashmuz in less than 2 minutes, which is not a great look. However, that was at lightweight, and he's tall. So as we saw with Alex Pereira. Sometimes the taller fighters cutting more weight than they should have more potential to be chinned. And that's unfortunately what happened with Sam Patterson. Now he's at a more natural weight class and is taking on Kiefer Crosbie, who has been looking more like an untalented fat tub of Kiefer milk since he's been forced to get drug tested by the UFC. And Kevin Doucette beat his ass and subbed him easy. No weight cut to blame for that. And given that Sam Patterson did the same to his last opponent, I think this should be a layup. So Patterson's going to splatter him and finally be the future of a division benefiting his tall, skinny ass. So
yeah,
I got Patterson.
And by the way, what's up, Capitan?
Hey, Fuko.
You know,
the best
knocking out Alex Oliveira is not really like an achievement at this point in Cowboy Oliveira's career. But his last 2 losses to Georgie Karhanyan and Charlie Leary is like, that's not the worst losses. But yeah, I mean, getting finished in Bellator, then you get 2 wins on the regional scene. Why the fuck is he in the UFC?
Don't ask me. I can't tell you.
Strange matchup here, if you ask me. But yeah,
a lot of the booking in the UFC.
And then, so this fight is actually on the main card as of yesterday in Dana White's War Room. I agree with it. I think this fight should be on the main card. Should have been at the press conference.
Exactly. But, that's the biggest mistake.
Muhammad Mokaev versus Manel Kape at 125.
Manel Kape, somehow he made weight, dude. Miraculously, the guy made weight, so he's in.
The Punisher, Mokaev versus Starboy.
The motherfucking Starboy.
Manel Kape. So Muhammad Mokaev is 11-0. I think he had like 32, 35 regional fights. Dude's like Lomachenko of fucking MMA. Won the IMAF a shit ton of times.
That's a compliment.
19-6. Former Rizin champion is Manel Kape. Yeah, I mean, I look. Does it make a difference that he finished Ode Osborne, Zalgas Zumagulov, and David Dvorak? Does that mean like the alliteration names? Does that give Manel Kape an edge here?
Yeah, against Muhammad Mokaev for sure. He's Eminem. He's going to take him down because Eminem's been shit as of late. So honestly, I think he destroyed Eminem Muhammad Mokaev.
So like, oh my gosh,
oh my gosh, you guys.
Obviously, like Manel Kape making weight already makes me want to pick him, and he probably will be my pick. And as I debate here with myself, but the thing is Mokaev gets a lot of shit. Rightfully so, right? Like I'm not defending his not so impressive performances. Arguably lost a few of his last fights, but the fucking weird thing about Manel Kape is he'll lose, sort of like Ortega. Not as exciting, but he'll lose until he wins. It is what it is.
Weird.
Could Manel Kape like find that sneaky sub somewhere in this fight? Sure.
Good.
But man, it's hard to like if you're gonna pick Manel Kape to win, probably would be by knockout, right? But I think that like Mokaev is like not damaged goods at this point. I think he can take a beating, but we haven't really seen him like in too much of a compromised position, and that's the tricky part about this fight. I'm gonna go Manel Kape. I'm gonna go safe. I'm going to pick him by decision, but I'm not counting out Mokaev in this one. And by the way, Juice Man, Wilshire is a famous tensor in a 15 on the other side. Baker skated at Baker 3, very famous spot in LA. Always. Anyway, smash the family jewels. One more sleep till Molly and Patty lose. That's what's up, right. Juice Man.
Well in, lad.
Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about, mate. The Scouse is getting knocked out, lad.
All right. Well, our great minds have once again thought alike, Skatesman, because I got Manel Kape. Wait, what? Wait, why do I have Mokaev? Whoa. I need to edit that shit. That's a fucking disgrace to the sport. What I did there. Hold on. Whoa. We need to talk until I fucking change that to Kape. What the fuck was I doing? Am I on crack? Jesus Christ, man.
Okay, gotcha. Mokaev wins by submission.
Nope. Okay, almost
yeah,
there.
No, I think I see what he's saying. Like, that's the most likely route to victory for Mokaev.
No way. Hold on.
Patty and Molly both win by KO. Oh, shit.
That's terrific. All right, almost ready. Here we go. Present. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties and brain difficulties, if I'm being honest. But I've had those for a while. Look, this is the correct result right here. This is what I was going to say. Our great minds thought alike. I have Kape by decision. I'm gonna fucking Men in Black that reference because I'm not a zoomer at all. So I haven't rated Mokaev since he almost lost to Jafel Filho, and it was on a one-way trip to losing to Tim Elliott before the arm triangle choke.
That's what I'm saying, man. He just figures it out.
Perez, before he greatly improved his game, was even dismantling Mokaev by the third round. Calls himself the Punisher, but he's the only one getting punished in his fights. If Mokaev can't submit Filho or short notice Tim Elliott in the first 2 rounds, there's no chance in hell he's submitting Manel Kape early in the fight. And if Kape wins a round against Mokaev going into round 3, homie's in fucking deep trouble. I think Mokaev's luck stops here, even if Kape isn't the most prepared weight-wise going into this fight. And hey, that aged pretty well. He's a motherfucking star boy. So I think he's miraculously going to make weight. I got that one right. And school Mokaev on the feet. And if Mokaev shoots a takedown, Kape's reversing it with the excellent grappling and takedown defense he developed in Rizin. Still won against Dvorak, even when taken down, and lost a very close split decision to Mateos Nicolau, despite getting taken down. His striking will be the advantage here as well. If Perez can reverse Mokaev's takedowns, I'm sure as hell Manel Kape can. And if he comes in overweight and Mokaev still accepts, guess who's going to be on top with the scrambles? And he's still going to be on top, in my opinion, even now that he's made weight. Kape's taking this one by decision, beating the hell out of Mokaev and exposing his wrestling for at least 2 out of the 3 rounds, in my opinion. I don't see Kape getting submitted at all, and that's game over for Mokaev. He deserves a bad loss, too. So give me Kape by decision.
Musical MMA says, like the stream, you Bati man.
The Bati man.
Hey, look, our fans aren't Bati man. I don't know if we have fans, but subscribers aren't Bati men. But yes,
they're
like the stream. And thank you for the Jamaican reggae shout out. Love that shit.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, man, I get it, but I'm not counting Mokaev out in this one, though I am picking Kape. I think it'll be closer than people think. Next fight is Oban Elliott versus Preston Parsons. Gosh, I hate this guy's name. So, Oban Elliott. This is a welterweight contest. Oban Elliott 10-2. One fight in the UFC where he beat Val Woodburn. Interestingly, gosh, what the fuck is his name? The fucking wrestler. Why am I blanking? The guy who knocked out Val Woodburn.
Oh, Bo Nickel?
Yeah, Bo Nickel victim. Got a win over him 4 months ago. Preston Parsons beat Matthew Semmelsberger in his last win.
Not bad.
He is 11-4. Before that, he lost to Trevin Giles by splitty, and he got knocked out by D-Rod 2 years ago. Definitely a more dangerous
D-Rod.
Yeah, a more dangerous D-Rod. D-Rod's kind of fallen off a little bit at this point.
That's true.
2 weak chins I'm seeing there.
Right. Are you talking about us or talking about them?
Well, it doesn't
Eric
matter.
Hartman counts.
Pressure Preston Parsons coming with the alliteration there. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Man, I haven't seen enough of Oban Elliott, but I mean, from what I remember from the Val Woodburn fight, it wasn't very memorable. And I think it was pretty close, relatively. But yeah, give me Preston Parsons. Took Semi the Jedi to decision, a guy who's a brawler, but I would say is a little bit more on the reckless and can get knocked outside. I'm going to go safe and just pick a decision, but what say you, my good friend?
We're on the same fucking wavelength once again. Two cards in a row, man. I got Preston Parsons by decision as well. Preston Pressure Parsons puts on a lot of pressure. How much pressure will Preston Parsons put? Enough to completely shut down the wrestling of Oban Elliott and turn it around, getting the best of him on the feet and making him look like a regional MMA fighter for 3 rounds for a unanimous decision win. Oban Elliott has not looked good in his major UFC fights, winning a majority decision against Kike Brito, and getting dropped by Val Woodburn, who Bo Nickel absolutely demolished on the feet. You know, for being a Welsh gangster, he doesn't really fight like a gangster from Wales, or a dragon at that, even though it's on his flag. Being way too tentative on the feet to pose even the slightest threat at the top of welterweight. And not against Preston either, who has better striking than him, and even grappling to counter anything he throws at him. I think this one's fairly simple. Give me Parsons by decision. But wait, hold on. Let me try to do that alliteration part one more time. I didn't see it coming. Preston pressure Parsons puts on a lot of pressure. How much pressure will Preston Parsons put? There you go.
As much pressure.
I am the very model of a modern major general, from mineral to mineral.
You could put in the Peter Piper picked a pot of pickled peppers with Preston Parsons in that one.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't know if you'd want to, but anyway, next fight is Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio at light heavyweight, the best division in the UFC. Not really.
Just ask Yuri.
Modestas Bukauskas. He was in the UFC, and then he wasn't, and then he went and he got some wins on the regional scene. Came back, beat Tyson Pedro, who was retired. Zach Pauga, who won the Ultimate Fighter at one point. I don't even know if he's still on the roster. If he is, he's definitely on the way out. Then he got check hooked by Vitor Prachnio. He's 15-6. On the other side, Marcin Prachnio, this older by 6 years. Marcin Prachnio.
Modestas Bukaki.
He's got a 17-7 record. His last win was against Devin Clark, who I actually think is probably a better fighter than Modestas, but definitely a completely different game. Before that, he lost to Vitor Prachnio as well. So these are two former Vitor Prachnio victims.
Yeah.
Winning a fight against William Knight, losing one to Felipe Lins. Ike Villanueva was his last knockout 3 years ago. Oh, my gosh. That was a vicious body kick, but Villanueva, I think, retired after that. So Modestas Bukaki, who's that? Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Bukaki?
Oh, my gosh. This is a battle of two terrible light heavyweights. I think anything could really happen. I don't even know why I have Marcin. I have no idea what the fuck's going to happen in this fight, guys. I really don't.
And that's smart.
I'm tentatively picking Marcin Prachnio, but Modestas Bukauskas is the younger guy, I guess. Is the only thing he's really got going for him. Let me check the reach here. Oh, yeah. He's got a lot longer reach than poor old Marcin Prachnio. But, again, I think that Marcin Prachnio is just a little bit more skilled everywhere.
Bingo, Matt Arm. Bingo.
But Modestas has no volume, and Prachnio is all volume. Yeah, totally. And that's why he's not getting the knockout wins. I mean, that body kick again 3 years ago. Outside of that, yeah, give me Prachnio by decision. What say you, Hank the Tank?
Another smart pick from the Idaho Skatesman. For being named the Baltic Gladiator, he doesn't really fight like one. Always attacking his opponent with pitter-patter shots and not really putting on any pressure or real offense against his opponents, unlike Preston Pressure Parsons until the third round. Marcin Prachnio is the exact opposite, fighting very aggressively in the early rounds and gassing out by the third. Since Modestas Bukauskas won't be taking advantage of that in the third round, since his fight style is way more reserved, I see Prachnio kicking his ass for most of this fight and never finding himself in any real danger here. When are you guys breaking down Rizin? We are going right after we do our predictions for the UFC card. He's also had way better performances against fighters who have absolutely destroyed Modestas, like against Khalil Roundtree, who he beat, and Vitor Prachnio, with Prachnio only subbing him in round 3 and absolutely flatlining Modestas Bukauskas in round 2. Roundtree got whooped by Prachnio, and he meanwhile destroyed Modestas' leg and got him cut from the UFC. Modestas is going to look like Modestas, and Prachnio is going to look like Prachnio. So this should be easy money for Marcin. No grappling or striking threat there. I think it's a dominant decision win.
Yeah, and Matt R, we're moving up the card, so you're in time, my friend. You're in time. The next fight is a man named
Caolán Loughran, lad.
Caolán, we'll say Caolán Loughran versus Jake White Kong Hadley. Funny tidbit, and I have to mention this every time he fights. White Kong was Jamie Kennedy's nickname in Malibu's Most Wanted. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Ronnie Rizat's in it. Snoop Dogg.
Ronnie Rizat.
But yeah, Caolán Loughran, the Don, is 9-1. His only loss was in his UFC debut to Taylor Lapilus. Pretty respectable win or loss in hindsight. Charles Johnson, his last win was Angel Pacheco. I have no idea who the fuck that is. 3 months ago, watched the fight. Don't know who that is. Jake Hadley, memorable fight 2 months ago. He lost the decision to Charles Johnson. Cody Durden lost to him. Knocked out Malcolm Gordon, triangle choke Carlos Candelario, and Alan Nascimento decision loss. Like Jake Hadley, not bad losses at flyweight. This is up a weight class against a guy who I believe that they're pushing to get a win here. So that makes me want to pick Loughran. I think that his fight against Taylor Lapilus showed me that he's got the skills to at least hang with Hadley and go to decision. But the biggest kicker for me is I feel like Hadley took some damage in that. Those are pretty wide odds for this fight, especially a guy with 2 fights in the UFC, this being his third. The biggest kicker for me is I think he did take some damage in that fight against Charles Johnson. He's stepping up on short notice. I think he's on his way out the door in the UFC. So again, I'm not like counting him out. This is up a weight class on short notice. That's my biggest pick or reason why I'm going to pick Loughran. But again, I think Jake Hadley already was kind of bigger for 125. So this may be an advantage sneakily. But yeah, give me Loughran. I'm going to pick him to do it by decision.
Yeah, I've got Loughran by decision as well. I don't favor Loughran striking very much. It hasn't looked the best against opponents that are clearly of a better skill level than him. But he didn't get finished by Taylor Lapilus, and that's a plus since Lapilus can be a pretty dangerous striker at times, and he was physically at a disadvantage there. But I think Jake Hadley is at a physical disadvantage anywhere. He was smaller at flyweight. He was smaller than most of the flyweight guys, and now he's going up to bantamweight on short notice to fight Loughran. He's going to look fucking tiny in there. Let's be honest. Like, I think that Loughran can stuff the takedowns of Jake Hadley because pretty much anybody with a pulse has been able to
Jake Hadley is actually taller than Caolán Loughran.
Oh, well, I guess the more you know. Still, I don't think he's going to look that in shape, given that it's on short notice. I'm just going to have faith that I already think he has sloppy technique on the feet, even when he is training for a fight. So I feel like he's going to look even more sloppy here. And like when he's trying to take Loughran down, I feel like Loughran, if anything, he's going to reverse the takedowns and maybe even shoot a few takedowns himself. Not just through good technique, but because he just physically is just stronger, I think, than Jake Hadley, who's never looked all that toned muscle wise or just in shape. And so I just feel like Loughran's going to be the bigger dude. I know that Hadley's taller. Now I know he's taller, but he's just the bigger dude physically. If you know what I mean. He has more power and ability to actually take little Hadley down. So I don't know. Hadley has never really looked good in the UFC. He got a good body shot. I will give him that. That was some unorthodox striking, but I'm pretty sure he was getting pieced up before he landed that body shot KO. So Hadley's just a very easy target. And I feel like as bad as Loughran is in the striking, he's got a better pressure game than Hadley, I think, ever will. So I think Loughran's going to take this one fairly easy. Just give me Loughran by decision.
Paradox says Hadley came in overweight. By the way, did not know that.
There you go.
Ceremonial weigh-ins are out. I think Hadley might be bigger or the same size, actually.
Well, you confirmed what Idaho said.
So our next fight is Molly Meatball McCann.
Meatball.
Versus Bruna Brazil. Molly Meatball is 14-6. Now, some of those fights are up at flyweight. This one's back down at 115 strawweight. Her last win was against Diana Belbita. Submission. Nasty submission at that.
Badass.
Bruna Brazil's last fight was against Loma Lukbumbi. And she beat Shauna Bannon. And got knocked out by Denise Gomez, but had that amazing knockout against Mark McMahon, who we now have learned that Mark McMahon is a total can.
Yeah, that's why they dumped a bunch of hype on her after the Contender Series. Oh yeah, Bruna Brazil, she's gonna run through everybody.
I mean that fucking that knockout was amazing though. I mean,
it was.
Seriously.
Yeah. But I'm saying that sometimes people have like one KO and then they put a bunch of hype on you after that.
Sure. And Matt R says this is a squash match, McCann KO. I'm with that. I think that Bruna Brazil has enough striking to not get knocked out. But really the biggest thing for me is the Loma Lukbumbi fight. If you're getting taken down by a tiny little Thai kickboxer and you're getting out grappled and whooped up on, and as Hank the Tank said, a true atom weight in Loma Lukbumbi, I think that your grappling definitely is not up to snuff to beat Molly McCann. Does she get some crazy lucky head kick knockout? I sure hope so. Because I'm not a fan of the Molly and Patty show, but yeah, give me Molly McCann decision. Knockout would be cool. Like I said, I do think there is going to be lots of knockouts on this card and finishes. Maybe submission, but yeah, I'm going to go safe and just pick Molly McCann. Get it done by decision.
I got her by first round KO. In my opinion, this is going to be the first finish of the card. Other than I think there's one I mentioned before. What was that?
I don't know.
Decision. Oh, Sam Patterson, the first one since the Sam Patterson fight. I got Molly McCann by finish first round. Molly has seemed to improve in her pressure game and fighting ability since she moved back down to strawweight. She was in fucking flyweight before. In a weight class where she was smaller than most of its division, she was embarrassed on the feet and ragdolled. Now that she's at a more natural weight, she's doing the exact same thing to her opponents. Who would have guessed? Her opponent at strawweight, Bruna Brazil, is apparently the special one, despite showing nothing special about her in the UFC since her Contender Series debut. She got dominated by Denise Gomez and even Loma Lubunmi, who should really be listed as an atom weight. So the bigger meatball, Molly McCann, is going to absolutely eradicate her, applying way more pressure and striking diversity on the feet and taking her down whenever she wants. Brazil has no real fight in her, and Molly's going to expose that when she hits her with a flashy knee or a reverse elbow that like face plants her on the mat. I see it being that kind of finish for Molly McCann. She's done it twice already. I only see the striking going Molly's way since she's actually fights to get a finish. So give me Molly by exciting first round knockout of a bum. Molly's redemption arc at strawweight continues.
Yeah, and she's looked better at strawweight than
yeah, for sure.
Flyweight for sure.
Terrible move.
Get this up here. Next fight is Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. Both of these guys have excellent submission wins. This is Nathaniel Wood at featherweight, not at bantamweight. He's been kind of jumping around, but I think he's found a home that he likes at featherweight. Nathaniel Wood is 19-6. Daniel Pineda is 28-15. Both these guys have been in the UFC for quite some time now. Nathaniel Wood just really hasn't had that breakthrough like performance where he's just like, I don't know what Nathaniel Wood needs to do to really get that spark that gets people really excited about him in the featherweight division. But the biggest problem is featherweight's just a meat grinder, and that's shown in the odds. I mean, look at how big of a favorite Nathaniel Wood is, minus 440, and on the other side, Daniel Pineda plus 335. I think that there'll be some good grappling exchanges in this one. Both guys trying to implement their game. The biggest thing for me is Daniel Pineda is 38 years old, almost 39, 40 years old, damn near 40 at featherweight. Sorry, guys. It's just not a good look for you. So Nathaniel Wood gets it done. I'm going to go safe and pick it by decision. I really hope he gets a finish. I think they're trying to set him up for one because that's really what he needs. He just really needs one.
He's a talented prospect. He needs a finish to get people excited. That'll get him in the top 15.
And what's up, Denial? Good to see you. Wood's going to win. Look great at weight class up.
That's true.
Pineda round one. What after? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Oh, that's the bet.
More dangerous in round one. She's healthy now. She's at least a turkey meatball. Pineda's a juice head. Okay.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, look at that profile pic. That's an old one. I got Nathaniel Wood by dominant decision. Daniel Pineda is a former roid cheat, as Denial pointed out. And you can tell that by how relatively unathletic and tentative he's looked after getting into the UFC, which seems to happen to many athletes from elsewhere just entering the promotion. I can't fathom why.
I mean, he had a long run in the UFC though. He's had.
That's true. He's been around the block.
Yeah.
His most recent win was against Tucker Lutz, and no one cares about a win over Tucker Lutz. Not even Tucker Lutz himself. Before that, he got finished by Cub Swanson in 2020, and then got absolutely schooled by Alex Caceres afterwards. He is a low-level talent with way too many beatings, non-finishes, and no contests from drug use to be taken seriously at featherweight. And Nathaniel Wood is going to dominate him from pillar to post for 3 rounds. Wood is way more technical than Pineda, and if he was able to out-grapple Alex Caceres a few months ago, he actually beat Alex Caceres in a grappling match recently.
Okay.
He should take down Daniel with relative ease. This is light work for someone who at several points was destined to break into the top 15 before the cage-grabbing cheat, Muhammad Naimov, took it all away, which Felipe Lima quickly avenged when he embarrassed him in front of his biggest fan base. Anyway,
How about that Felipe Lima, though? That guy is fucking...
Yeah. I love everything about that kid. What a prospect. People forget, man. People forget about Felipe Lima, man. Anyway.
And again, like, if Daniel Pineda's best route to victory is a sub, but I don't see it happening. I think Nathaniel Wood's too strong of a grappler.
So justice has been served with that loss and this easy win in front of a hometown crowd, which should hopefully get Wood one step closer to entering the featherweight top 15. And for Daniel the Pit Pineda, this will be just one more tumble in a bottomless pit of losses in the UFC, which is just a shame for the fellow cheat.
Yeah, man, I really hope Nathaniel Wood, I want to call him Daniel Wood. I don't know why. I hope that he gets a finish. I really hope he gets a finish in this one. But I don't know, man. I actually don't really like his chances up in the top 5 or 15 at featherweight. But Daniel Pineda, this is definitely a layup for Nathaniel Wood. Our next fight is Arnold Allen taking on Giga Chikadze at 145. Arnold Allen, 19-3. 2 of those losses coming in his last 2 fights. Sorry.
Bless you.
His last 2 losses to Movsar Evloev, which was
I agreed to know.
Pretty disputed decision. It was a damn close fight, a damn good fight too. I don't know what Dana White was watching, but and then he lost that fight to Max Holloway, which I actually picked him to beat Max Holloway. Dumb me. Before that, he got that weird win over Calvin Kattar, knocked out Dan Hooker, which, to be fair, Dan Hooker should have never been in there.
No.
Dropped down to featherweight for that fight. That was
say that about a lot of fights that Dan Hooker's been involved with.
Horrible. On the other side, you got Giga Chikadze, who, I mean, when he came into the UFC about 3 years ago, he was knocking fools out. Knocked out Cub Swanson, and his best performance to date is that Edson Barboza finish, where he just kind of brutalized poor little Edson there. And had that decision loss to Calvin Kattar when Calvin was coming off of that just absolutely horrible beating he took to Max Holloway. And then he kind of did the same thing to Giga in his comeback fight. Giga never looked like anything in there. Never did anything to Calvin Kattar. He got whooped from pillar to post. It was pretty brutal. But then he got that bounce back win to Alex Caceres, which to me, Alex Caceres is a more favorable matchup because he's willing to have a kickboxing match with a guy like Giga Chikadze, which is a terrible decision. And if Arnold Allen decides to do the same here and just like stand and bang with Giga Chikadze, I think that Giga will win. But the problem is that's not Arnold Allen. He's a fantastic grappler. We saw in that fight with Movsar Evloev.
Sad news.
You know, Arnold Allen, he has a really awkward striking style. He's got some power though, and it's shown. He's got a few knockouts. Again, yeah, Hooker at featherweight was insane. I don't think that Arnold Allen is like some crazy striker because he knocked out Dan Hooker. That was I actually just watched the knockout back, and it was actually a pretty clean knockout, like just the way he set everything up. I thought that Dan Hooker was like not doing anything, but he was trying to fight back. Arnold Allen just caught him and picked his spots perfectly. The thing is like, dude, I don't know if Arnold Allen can finish Giga Chikadze in this fight, and that's why I'm going to pick him by decision. As Denial said, a later round submission is possible. I'm hoping for Nathaniel Wood and for Arnold Allen they get finishes because that's what they need in their careers, man. And the UFC does not like you if you just keep going to decisions with guys that aren't named Dan Hooker. So give me Allen, give me him by decision.
Well, I honestly think a finish is what Arnold Allen's going to get. I got him by round 2 KO. Arnold Almighty Allen has been given the short end of the stick these last couple of years in the UFC. He took Max Holloway to the closest decision win he's had since his fight with Yair Rodriguez, and people only remember it for Max dropping Allen. And then he won 2 out of the 3 rounds against Movsar Evloev before having that win taken away from him. If Mark Goddard hadn't have acted like Mark Goddard and stopped him from kneeing Evloev right in the middle of a crucial sequence, he would have won that round even more clearly and maybe even finished Evloev in the third round. But instead, it was all taken away from him by a rule that is now going to be revoked in October of this year. So yeah, Allen has had a bad break as of late, and I think this fight against Giga Chikadze is his reward for all the punishment he's dealt with, even his multiple hand injuries in the early part of his career. He just couldn't help himself but break his hand every time he was in a fight. His gift is Giga Chikadze, who has had one fight in 3 years since Calvin Kattar, of all people, rocked his entire world and left him out of action, only for him to come back and just barely beat Alex Caceres on an off-vegan night, who still somehow came close to beating him. Arnold Allen almost beat Max, and in my eyes, beat Evloev.
What?
So he should...
How did he almost beat Max?
He got a few rounds on him.
Okay, because he won the 5th round and he finally figured out what to do in the 5th. He almost beat Max Holloway. What?
Well, he did very well against him. They went back and forth. It was very competitive. Most expected Max to just beat him up for fucking 5 rounds, but I think they went back and forth. So he should absolutely outstrike the smaller and more ring-rusted Giga Chikadze, schooling him on the feet and even on the ground if he wants to, since he has an underrated offensive grappling game. And then by the second round, chinning the ninja and finishing him by brutal TKO. He just hasn't looked the same since 2020, and Allen's exposing that fact with a nasty finish in front of his hometown crowd. Him and Wood finally getting the redemption and adulation they deserve as highly underrated UK prospects. That's what I'm hoping for.
By the way, what's up, CST? Good to see you in here. Everybody go check out CST's Twitter if you get a chance. Combat Sports Today. Yeah, what is this rule change you guys are referencing? Because talk to me.
So not only is it the hand that has now been legalized. If you get your hand down, they can still knee you in the face, and it's legal. And then there's also one where you can be like in a crouched position without your knees down, and you're like scrambling on the ground, and you can still get kicked and soccer kicked and kneed in the face.
Per who?
Per the unified rule set.
Which is run by who?
This Nevada Athletics Commission.
I think it's the Association of Boxing Commissions. So when I read the report, they changed the rule to be any part of the body on the ground besides a hand or besides a foot counts as a down fighter. So I don't know what this rule change you guys are referring to.
Well, there's one for the hand, so that eliminates the Weidmans of the world. And then you could even be in a crouch position like Mokaev was against Perez that one time without the knees down, and you can still get hit.
Pull that up because I'd like to see that, because the report I read was just now it's just any part of the body besides a foot counts as a down.
All right. Hey, Jamie, fighter. Pull that up. Give me 1 second.
Dana White breaking news. Let's hear it. Let's react to it. And Denial says AAA did better than 98% of the fighters that stepped in there. Sure, but that doesn't mean that the fight was close. And unified MMA also does not count for every jurisdiction. The rule change that I saw is implemented as of November 1st. It'd be weird if the ABC had conflicting downed opponent rules that they just released. That would be really, really weird. And obviously very confusing for the fans if it wasn't already confusing enough. So yeah, I don't know what you guys are talking about.
The Association of Boxing Commissions MMA Rules Committee passed a rule change that clarifies when a fighter is considered grounded and makes it illegal to knee a grounded fighter in the head. The new rule states that a fighter is grounded and cannot be legally kneed or kicked in the head if any part of their body other than their hands or feet is touching the ground. This change aims to address a confusing rule, the palm down rule, which encouraged fighters to put their palms down to avoid being kicked or kneed in the head. But I remember Denial showed me a picture of someone who was like more like crouched, and even he could still get.
Yeah, the rule change is exactly what I just said. Any part of the body besides a foot counts as a down opponent. So yeah, you guys, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but
whatever.
By the way, what's up, Joshua? Good to see you. Tell us what that breaking news is. I'm not sure what it is, but
what's the breaking news, CFST? Jordan Vucenic is in the UFC. I hope he is. I hope he makes his debut. He did fantastic in Cage Warriors. I guess, maybe.
All right. Our next fight is CLD, Chris Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. It's at 185. Chris Leroy Duncan is 10-1. His only loss was to Armin Petrosian, which is certainly interesting. RoboCop is 15-5. His last loss was to Bruno Ferreira. Vicious left hook. And RoboCop looked like he was like on a tear. He was that guy at 185 up until that brutal knockout loss to Ferreira. CLD, 29 years old to RoboCop's 32, which, to be fair, I mean, RoboCop looks like he's like 50. I don't know how he's only 32. I always forget that he's only 32. My take for this fight is Rodriguez has a chance to get this one done by finish in the first round. After that, I think Chris Leroy Duncan is like just has more tools in the box. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I pick him rounds 2 and 3 to possibly get it done. So I'm picking CLD. I think this will be a banger, but I'm going to go safe. I'm going to pick CLD by decision. What say you, my
All right,
friend?
so here are some of the updates for the UFC 306 card Sphere. We've got Daniel Zellhuber versus Esteban Ribovic.
Trash.
Yeah, trash. But Brian Ortega will fight Diego Lopez at UFC 306.
At what weight?
What? Probably featherweight.
That's
Champion.
weird because he's moving up to lightweight, isn't he?
I don't know. Well, Ortega is, yeah, but they're just rebooking the thing before he goes up. And then champion Alexa Grasso will fight Valentina Shevchenko in the rematch.
Shocker. Yeah, sounds like shit.
And they did not include Holloway versus Taporia, the fucking bastards. So that is not on the card. Fucking cheap fucking
Yeah, what a trash card. They were like, this is gonna be the most mind-blowing card you've ever fucking seen. And that's what he said about UFC 300. My socks stayed on the entire card, guys.
Yeah.
So, what a trash announcement to break up the show. Rodriguez looks like Coleman's illegitimate son he had with a Latina maid.
Wow.
All right.
Disgusting.
Boo. Yeah.
Yeah,
For real.
agree.
Yeah. Everybody boo the Sphere card because that's
Fuck
trash.
you. Oh, and
I mean,
by
I'm
the
sure
way,
the show is going to look like a karate combat show, so I guess that's cool.
yeah.
But that's just trash. And then watch the card. The card will probably actually be sick, right?
Yeah.
Like the fights, and then Dana White would be like, "You guys fucking, I told you guys. You said this would be a trash card. It was the best card you've ever seen in my life.
a badass card.
But I don't know what's up with making that rematch, especially if it's not going to be at lightweight, which Ortega said that he's moving up to lightweight after this fight. I'm curious to see what weight that's at.
And it's just to probably put over Diego Lopez, I'm pretty sure. But next, I got Gregory Rodriguez. Also, I want to mention one thing about the Sphere card. Anyone who's not in the fucking the balcony seats, they have to fucking stand the entire show. There's no chairs. They're just gonna stand. Yeah, from the bottom floors, the fucking peasants are gonna have to stand on their fucking weak ass legs for like 6 whole hours. So.
Bunch of losers.
Guys. Yeah, what fun. You're going to fucking break your legs. Anyway, I got a RoboCop by second round KO. Finally, we disagree. Christian Leroy Duncan has been fed complete cans so far in his UFC career and somehow still found a way to make those fights look competitive, beating Denis Tolulin a round and a half after Gregory Rodriguez did, beating Petrosian unanimously, having Petrosian beat him unanimously, where Rodriguez went to a split loss, and overall dragging out fights with guys he should be finishing within 2 minutes. Enter RoboCop, who has made creeps freeze in their tracks within a round and completely shut their offenses down on the ground and on the feet, finishing tough as nails Brad Tavares, crushing Chitty Bang after taking some serious punishment in just round 2, and overall coming off as a threat everywhere for as long as the fight lasts. I think he's way more technical than spinning wheel kick spamming Duncan, who looks more like Chris Duncan, the lightweight, than any sort of earth-shattering prospect in the cage. He's going to flail around with his flashy shit against RoboCop, who's going to send a big hook, straight or overhand right down the pipe, and catch Duncan slipping with big takedowns, I think, which will make him fear them and leave himself more open on the feet, I think resulting in a TKO ground and pound loss in round 2. Sayonara, CLD. or should I say C-Rod? I know who it is. Let's see who CLD really is. C-Rod. Yeah,
Does CLD have a CDL though? Is my big question. I've been asking this for a long time.
I mean, he fights like he's on LSD. So,
all right, but that doesn't have anything to do with him having a CDL.
What's that?
It's like the license you have to be a truck driver.
Yeah, well, I think he's too young for that. I don't even know if he has a regular driver's license, to be honest.
Fair enough. All right, our next fight is not Bobby Green. It's King Green versus Patty the Bat. Oh, Patty. Oh, Patty the Batty.
That's right.
And he's forklift certified. Oh, okay. Well, it's been confirmed. He does have a CDL and he is forklift certified. Love it. So yeah, King Green versus Patty Pimblett. King Green. I'm gonna respect Mr. King here and
Fuck that name.
Call him King Green. 32-15-1. Longtime vet of the game. On the other side, Patty Pimblett, 21-3. I believe he's undefeated in the UFC. Unless you ask Jared Gordon fans. Look, I mean, the Scouser versus the fake gangster. Who will win? I want to pick Bobby Green, man. I really do. I want to pick King Green. I think if you're going to see a knockout, it's going to be Green getting the knockout. If you're going to see a sub or something of that nature, I think Patty Pimblett's the guy. I've seen Patty Pimblett get clocked and rocked before. He had a close fight with Jared Gordon. Green's fought the higher competition. They both choked out Tony Ferguson, unfortunately.
One of them did. Bobby did. Patty didn't.
Oh, okay. Patty didn't actually finish him. Got it.
No.
Jeez, dude. This one's hard for me to pick, man.
Yeah, No Chill was freaking out in the City Life Discord about this. I was just seeing trash on my phone.
It is trash. I'm going to pick Green by decision. Depends on which one shows up, though, right? Like,
yeah.
I think he's been very inconsistent. Looks great, and then he looks bad. The hands down boxing style of Green is the reason why he has such good takedown defense, which I would say is Patty's strongest.
We are aware, No Chill. We are aware. I threw up in my mouth a little bit even reading it. Yeah,
I think that's why the hands down style is why he's so effective with his takedown defense.
Right.
I would love to see him just chin Patty here and get him out of there. It would be awesome. But unfortunately,
Jesus Christ.
I don't see it happening. But I'll let Hank the Tank read his notes since he's reading notes.
Yeah, I think my pick's going to shock you a little bit. I got Patty Pimblett by first round submission. Looking at that face-off post 304 press conference actually changed my whole perspective regarding this fight. For someone who always hypes himself up as a big badass, as a gangster, but as a fighter in general. For all the lightweights to fear, Bobby is sort of tiny compared to Patty the Batty. He had to get on his tippy toes to have a nose-to-nose with him. I didn't take the size difference into account when looking at the matchup, but I am now. Patty's going to sting Bobby Green with some shots, given the height difference, and with his big frame, I think he's going to be taking down.
That's hilarious. It has them both listed as 5'10" on Tapology.
That's a fucking joke. I think he's taking Green down to the mat, and at some point, I think he's going to get the back. Bobby's takedown defense is pretty mid. We all expected him to get ragdolled on the ground by Grant Dawson, let's be honest. And Jim Miller hardly shot a takedown against Bobby. But we all know that we were considering Jim's options to win were taking Green down to the ground. And
I picked Jim Miller to win that fight.
Yeah, and that's what I predicted as well. And that weakness of Bobby's, I think, still stands. Against taller or stronger guys, he gets destroyed on the ground and beaten up on the feet. And now that I know Patty is much bigger than I once thought than Bobby Green, not King, Bobby, I think he finds his entries and takes Green down at several points in this fight. If not the first round, when he gets him down and locks the hooks in immediately like he's done with other solid competitors before. And I think he beats Bobby by first round rear naked choke to the muffled groaning of the dead, tired UK fans. After this, I think King's reverting back his name back to Bobby. He's going to be the prince instead of the king.
Juice Man's with me, man. Let's go. Please derail the hype train. And
I know
yeah,
I want him to. I want him to as well.
No. I don't think that it's not surprising. Paddy Pimblett getting the win is totally foreseeable. I'm gonna ride with Green. I think he's gonna get this one done. I've never really been a fan of Paddy. His in-cage performances. I think he's just fallen short. And we were just talking before the stream started about the Topuria and Paddy run-in. Paddy was like, maybe he'll fight on the undercard of one of my pay-per-views. But turns out that Topuria is, the featherweight champion, and Paddy Pimblett's still like scrambling to just get like a decent name and move up the rankings, So
easy. Yeah. Paddy's looking more like the Ilya.
Either way, I think it'll be a good fight. I do think Paddy wins, though, unfortunately. I hope I'm wrong. If I ever wanted to be wrong, let it be this. Hey, for sure, man. And honestly, like that last knockout loss for Bobby Green gives me pause. But yeah, I'm gonna go for King Green myself. But good to have the dispute. Our next fight: Tom Aspinall versus Curtis Blades. Not much to say here. This is for the actual undisputed heavyweight title, in my opinion. I won't see John Jones as the champ because let's face it, I think he's been inactive for almost 500 days. Had a bunch of weird stuff going on. Unfortunately, by the way, I found the reason Cap's fight moved to the early prelims. Yeah, I saw it on the main card when just a day ago when Dana White was hyping up the card for you. If you don't know, in the background. So that remains to be seen. But Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. I think we all know what happened in their last fight. Tom Aspinall had a terrible injury, tore his ACL, put him out for a long time.
No Jones.
Do we need to talk about the comments or?
Sorry, no, you can go ahead.
Okay, but yeah, the last fight we all know what happened. The thing is like, is Curtis Blades finally gonna be the guy to push Tom Aspinall to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, or not 6th round? Wish there was a 6th round sudden death match round. That'd be so sick.
Yeah,
but I mean, I can see it happening. I think Curtis Blades is being grossly overlooked in this fight. Let's see here. The odds actually have him as a plus 310 underdog.
Yikes.
I mean, I don't think that there's anything wrong in a heavyweight contest with picking underdog, that's that sizable. But the thing is Tom Aspinall, he's just that guy, man. He's just that guy at heavyweight. We've seen him take down monsters. We've seen him do the damn thing. Volkov, I think, is the only person to actually bring him to a second round in the UFC. And, I mean, for good reason. But then he ended up getting the let's go Blades. No shame towards Tommy, though. Good dude. Yeah, for sure. A good lad, as the UK fan.
Lad. Scouser lad.
The only thing that would make me pick Curtis Blades is the fact that, like, Tom, he's got so much pressure riding on his shoulders. I mean, but we've seen him, do well with that pressure aspect.
New York.
He knows that if he wins this fight, he will be next for John Jones. I don't know if that fight ever happens. I'm not real confident. But yeah, no, this is Tom's time. He's the guy. Curtis Blades is in the way. Sure. Again, I hope it's a good fight. That's all I'm hoping for. But I'm picking Tom Aspinall to smoke Curtis Blades. Round 1 knockout. Let's go.
We'll see about that. No chill.
Okay, I'll show you the picture. No chill. What I'm talking about is when Dana White does his Instagram video previewing the card. Okay, he has the war room in the back showing the bout lineup, and it literally had Mokaev and Manel Kape on the main card. That's what I'm talking about.
Was that after the fact? After he was already on the early prelims?
It was literally yesterday.
Okay, well, there you go. Tommy's a proper lad, Anyway, let's move on. I got Aspinall by round 1 KO, same as you. Curtis Blades was knocked out by a fellow slow, plotty heavyweight in Sergey Pavlovich, as we saw in his Volkov fight. For that reason alone, I'm picking Tom Aspinall. Blades can be tricky in the takedown defense game, as we saw against Almeida, but his stand-up is way too slow and traditional to deal with a guy as fast as Tommy Aspinall. He took Jairzinho Rosenstruik and Justin Willis to decisions and lightly tapped Sergey's face before he got put out. Is this really the guy who's going to chin Tom Aspinall, who I've never seen on wobbly legs once in his heavyweight career? Highly doubt it. I think Tom is going to throw a really quick 1-2 down the pipe at some point and rock Blades. The only reason he wasn't able to before is that his knee gave out 10 seconds into the fight, and he could barely walk on one leg, crashing forward with way less patience and blowing the knee out fully afterwards. This is repaired Aspinall. This is a hungry Aspinall, and this is the best Aspinall we've ever seen. He knocked out Sergey easy. He should make light work of Curtis Blades, and even if he doesn't chin him on the feet, if Almeida can keep Blades down for an entire round, I know Aspinall can even better, if not submit Blades any way he wants to. He is the complete package. It's why John Jones fears him, and he and Dana want to prevent him from getting a world title fight at all costs. Don't let the Blades hype fool you into thinking Tom Aspinall isn't the greatest MMA heavyweight on the planet right now. If anyone's getting cut up in this fight, it's the Razor. So I see Tommy Boy chinning Blades within a round, as he often does, and eviscerating Jones and Stipe on the mic 10 whole minutes afterwards. Hopefully the entrance theme isn't oh, hold on. Sweet Caroline. Da, da, da. Oh, man, Neil Diamond. I wish I'd met him in the 70s, mate. What a charmer. That's my only fear. Where you at, Jones? Where you at, John Jones? So
I just want to show this. This is Dana White screaming into a Instagram live feed. You can't fucking see it, maybe. But anyway, there's the bout order there. It has Mokaev versus Kape literally just before Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett. So if I'm 100% wrong, it's fucking Dana White that's 100% wrong. So, all right. But Denial is a hilarious comment. He says Curtis wins by another knee injury and history repeats itself. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Guys, I bet you anything. Dana White announces the Sphere card tomorrow and guarantee O'Malley co-main for main events. If that's true, I'm punching the air. All right. And what's up to Hamish? He says Muhammad, Molly, Arnold, Leon, Patty, Tom. Good pick on a parlay. Not a bad parlay there, man. Like it.
Not bad.
Sweet Caroline,
Muhammad Mokaev is, I think, the riskiest one there.
Sweet Caroline. I looked away for 5 seconds and he became Austin Powers. What's up, Big Red? Good to see you in here, man.
Groovy, baby, yeah. Oh, I love to do the shagging, you know. Oi, lad.
Speaking of Leon, we got our main event, which I think somebody had mentioned earlier that the main event should be Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. I'm totally with that.
I agree.
Leon Edwards versus Bilal. Everybody says that Leon was like whooping Bilal's ass until I think actually you, Hank the Tank, said that Leon was schooling Bilal up until the eye poke. I didn't see that, but maybe I'll have to go back and watch the fight. He says that shit's pre-recorded. All right, sounds good, dude. Spreading misinformation. I love it. Anyway, Leon Edwards. The thing about Leon is he just usually has a pretty lackluster, boring fight. And I feel like though he did get a head kick finish of Kamaru Usman in the 5th round of their first fight, he usually starts to fall off as the fight goes on. I think that Bilal Muhammad could win this fight based purely off volume. Just actually being the more active guy in there. Obviously, this is a UK crowd. The judges may favor Leon. So again, I do want Leon to get this done. Make no mistake. I think he's the more marketable guy out of the two, which isn't saying much. But I think that Bilal is locked in. He looks insane. He's totally juiced up. His head has grown many, many sizes since he's debuted.
Like the Grinch.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I think this is a close fight. I think it goes to decision, maybe even a split at that. Unfortunately, my official pick is going to be Bilal Muhammad by decision. I don't see a finish happening in this fight. Don't know who does. I think if anyone gets a knockout, it might be Leon. But again, I really don't know how to predict this fight. I'm just going with Bilal based on cardio and just volume.
All right. Well, I got Leon Edwards by decision. We all saw what happened to Bilal Muhammad after that eye poke underneath the eye from Leon Edwards. He was getting his ass beat with quick strikes and excellent technical work from Edwards' scissor hands at range. I think Edwards had the better of the strikes at the very least. Without that eye poke, Bilal, I think, is getting pieced up over another 4 rounds, or maybe even TKO'd. And it's not like he's gotten any better at fighting since then. Going to decisions with guys who have sort of embarrassed him a little bit in the grappling and the striking a few times, getting beat up by Sean Brady a little bit before the finish, and being unable to finish a one-armed Gilbert Burns, who took him down in their fight. Leon's just going to take down Bilal, I think, over and over and over again, just like he did with Colby Covington, just like he did at some points with Usman during their trilogy. Bilal is just not on the same level as Leon Edwards. There's nothing to fear in the striking with him, especially if Leon stays at range. And in the grappling, Leon probably turns Bilal's attempts around and puts him on the mat for 5 minutes. There's no area where I think Bilal outdoes Leon Edwards. That increased muscle doesn't mean anything when you have no technique, in my opinion. Leon Edwards has technique, and I think that's going to be the difference maker here. Give me Leon by dominant decision over 5 rounds, maybe a KO, but I'm thinking it goes all 25 minutes because, it's in the UK and it's in the middle of the fucking morning. Bilal is finally getting exposed for the talentless hack he is, and all the Bilal stands and people with the same faith as him can go cry about it afterwards, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, I really don't know how to pick the card, or the main event especially. I think it's going to go to decision, and I think that's going to be the kryptonite to this card. Unfortunately, I think the card's probably going to be great up until that main event. But dude, I would love to see Leon get it done and outclass him as you've predicted.
Yeah. Hey, Matt R., did you say the same thing when he was taking on Colby Covington? Oh, he'd never take down Colby. And then he just took down Colby a million times. So
yeah, I mean, I think Colby's kind of washed at this point. But yeah, no, sure. I think it's a fair point. I don't think that really your prediction is like wrong. I feel like you wrote this directly aimed at JL, who doesn't attend our streams anymore. I wonder why.
Yeah. It's almost like we get more picks right than he does. Anyway, let's move on to the Super Rizin card. Or do you have any concluding thoughts about UFC 304?
No.
You don't? Okay,
I'll
move on then. We got Super Rizin. Let's go to Super Rizin 3, shall we? Which I think is what Idaho Skatesman is anticipating the most. Yeah.
So Manny Pacquiao is going to box this kickboxer. We've talked about it already. You know what? I think this might go to a draw, like some weird draw is my prediction. Maybe I should actually get the picks for this. My apologies. Did you make any picks for this card? I believe you have a lock.
I do have one lock. I do. That lock is I think it is Jesus. Who is it? I fucking forget. Oh wait, no. I know what it is. It's Rena Kubota against Kato Yama. Look at that fucking record, dude. 5-6 against a 14-5, and Kubota's been basically dominating every opponent they put in. What do you think?
I think that Rena was actually lined up to actually get a fight with Seika Izawa. So I think that this fight is like the fucking substitute for that. But yeah, I think that's a fantastic pick. 5-6. I mean, the thing about Japan though, and Rizin especially, is I don't know how many like people there really is to fight. Those fights did happen in Deep Jewels, which is actually a pretty damn good promotion. I don't think there's anything wrong with like going to split decisions in Deep Jewels. Did get a last knockout was in Deep Jewels. Maybe she was that chick that got that crazy knockout. I can't remember. But Rena, on the other hand, has some better wins on her record. Yeah, I think that Rena, and probably even maybe a submission. I'm just going to go tentative and pick a decision. But that's Tank the Tank's lock. And see you later, Juice Man. Good to see you, my friend. I have Robin Black over Ralph inside of 1.
Nice. Yeah, well, Robin Black gets the finish every single time.
The next fight up the card is Hideo Tokoro versus Hiroya Kondo. This guy's 9-12-1. And the other guy's 35-33-2. He's 46.
Dude, is that guy's nickname Little Volk?
Little Volk.
Little Volk. That's great.
Yeah, I'm not making a pick on that one, but holy shit, is that a terrible set of matchups there. The next fight is Yaman versus Suzuki. Now, Yaman has a record of 0-1, but if you know who Yaman is a fantastic kickboxer who
more like indecision denial.
I think he even has his own like kickboxing promotion in Japan. Unfortunately, this is an MMA fight, which I think they're just paying him more money to fight MMA. Yaman did have a loss to Ren Hiramoto, which, dude, if you're losing an MMA fight to Ren Hiramoto, like, I don't know, dude. The only saving grace is his opponent is 40. Ren Hiramoto's a really young dude. I think this is kind of a setup for Yaman to get this one done. I'm picking by knockout. Do you have any thoughts on this fight here?
I'd love to see another finish in Rizin, man. They're full of them. They got a based rule set, so we're just going to see we're going to see more people get knocked the fuck out, but unfortunately it's Rizin, so it's very hard to predict these things. Everybody has sort of even records. And they call me Mr. Hank because I failed to predict these things.
Now, here's another weird fight against kickboxers and MMA. Koji Tanaka is one of my favorite kickboxers to watch. He's on the way out. He's 35 against Ashizawa. Ashizawa's probably the right pick here, but I'm gonna pick Koji. Probably gonna be a tough fight. I'm gonna pick him to get it done by decision. I'm guessing you didn't really do a lot of research or anything, so you don't really have like picks for this card. But stop me when you got a pick.
Okay. Listen, Matt, there were times where Leon was shooting takedowns on Colby and Colby was on bottom. So watch the fight and then get back to me. There were times where Leon was the better wrestler, and we've seen it since him versus Usman too. So look it up. Actually, look up the track record of Leon Edwards. He's a good
fight I'm really excited for is Hiramosa Agikubo versus Makoto Shinru. Both of these guys lost to Kyoji Horiguchi. One of them was in Bellator, surprisingly. And Kyoji beat Shinru by submission up a weight class, mind you. It wasn't actually for the full title. Hiramosa got a win over John Dodson and lost to Juan Archuleta, which was a pretty damn good fight. Juan's a lot bigger than him. I think he even fought up at featherweight, but I think that was a bantamweight contest. Guaranteed waterworks in Japan. Yeah, a lot of Japanese fighters cry after their wins. So, definitely pick the over-under. Like, I would definitely pick the over.
It's got heart-stirring music every time after the fight. They can't help it.
The thing about this fight here is I think, though, Kyoji went to decision with Hiramosa and he subbed Shinru. Shinru's the younger guy. Hiramosa's an old vet. Shinru's the guy they want to push harder. I think Shinru will probably get it done. It'll be a fantastic fight. Hiramosa's like more physical of a guy, more plotty. Shinru, I think, just has like excellent technique, especially in the grappling department. I'm gonna pick technique over raw power. What about you? No picks.
I got Shinryu by decision as well. I looked at this fight immediately. I've seen Shinryu's past couple of fights, and I just think he has the grappling to pay the bills. And then if you go down to the fight below that one, I actually think I did favor somebody in that one. I think we talked about it too. I think I got Kubo. I think I got Kubo in that fight as well. So those are my two picks.
And then this is the main event, but there is one more fight that they're not letting us make picks on. It's going to be Manny Pacquiao. He's going to go to some weird
They do denial. They play happy music when the guy's fucking crying down in the Rizin ring. It's a very interesting contrast.
Yeah, Rizin is amazing. We all love Rizin.
Yeah.
Unless it's that last card that we all watched. But Mikiru Asakura is going to fight Ren Hiromoto.
I got that.
So Ren Hiromoto is like the guy they really want to be a star. A guy like directly who trains with him is the guy who's going to go fight in BKFC, and the guy who the BKFC fighter fought on the last Rizin card. Don't remember his name, but yeah, that's his training partner. So I think Ren is going to have a bare knuckle contest, probably in BKFC at some point in the future. For that reason, they're putting him up against Mikiru Asakura. This is actually going to be for the last man standing title, a quasi BMF belt in Rizin, which is totally strange. The thing is Ren Hiromoto is just like not that good, and that's reflective in his 3-3 record. Mikiru Asakura, I believe this might even be like his last fight. He's 17-4 and he's 32, but the dude's been in straight up wars, and he's been a name in Rizin for a long time. His brother Kai kind of took that title from him as being the guy in Rizin, and he whooped up on Warren Archuleta brutally in their last fight. So I'm going to pick Mikiru to get this one done. But I don't know, man. It's Japan. Weird shit happens.
Could easily be finished.
Never really know what's going to happen. So those are my official picks. There is a couple more fights on this card.
I favor Asakura as well in that contest. The Asakura brothers are to Rizin what the Diaz brothers are to the UFC. They've had their moments. They've come close. One of them actually beats a champion. You know, they're at that level. They're the brothers and they're stars.
So Ty Emery is going to compete on this card in a bare knuckle contest against a 40-year-old woman. She's a 37-year-old woman. She's famous for knocking out somebody in a BKFC Thailand event, not the one where Bukau and Sanchai fought each other, but yeah, she knocked out a woman in BKFC, and then she flashed the crowd, like showed them both of the goods, the milk bladders, whatever you want to call them. So yeah, she's probably just getting pushed by the promotion, and this is why Conor McGregor is attending the fight, and also Ryan Garcia is going to attend this as well. So it's going to be a total just crap show. And then John Dodson's going to take on some dude over in Rizin. John Dodson's damn near 40 at this point.
Yeah.
But to me, that doesn't matter. He's looked way better in BKFC than he has anywhere in recent years, sort of like Mike Perry. So, yeah, I'm going to pick John Dodson to get that one done.
Yeah.
But
he did not look very good in his last bare knuckle fight, though. He came very close to losing that one. So, might be easy to fade him as well.
Sure. But yeah, the Manny Pacquiao angle was interesting to me. Don't know why Manny Pacquiao is fighting in Rizin. I think he's been contracted to fucking fight there for years and years. He just hasn't made it happen. Was supposed to box Bukau in Rizin, but that never happened.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight that really should be happening.
Yeah. But there's so many dream matchups that they'll never make in their lives, like Dana White.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
But yeah, it's been about an hour and a half. I have no more thoughts on this weekend's matchups. Lots of good fights, though. Looking forward to this weekend, and we're going to give you guys a post show on Sunday. I'll try to do some sort of post-fight reaction to the UFC, but it might run too close to Rizin for me to be able to do that.
Right.
So.
Understandable. Yeah, it was potential, but he definitely owes them a fight. Well, they'll never get it. They'll never get it from Pretty Boy Floyd. My thoughts are I'm looking forward to this fight weekend. Same as I was going to say earlier that I haven't been this excited since I think it was the Louisville card when there were like a million shows from like multiple regional MMA organizations happening at the same time. But yeah, we got some good. The UFC and Rizin have been cooking this weekend, so can't wait to have a meal, man. I hope it's a good one.
Paradox says he's dropping a video in 20 minutes. Everybody go over there and check it out.
Check out Paradox, brother.
I'll be in attendance for that, my friend. So
yeah, me too.
But yeah, that's the show, man. I don't really got any more thoughts. Hank the Tank, lead us out.
You have escaped the war zone. for now. Oh, Paddy the Bad, sweet Caroline, good times never felt it.